The way humanity is living right now is absolutely insane. I want you to make a list of how many things in your day capture your attention without you actively having decided it. You find yourself, of course, on the classical culprits, right? YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the phone as like a gravitational pull towards your attention. And I want you to tell me if, whenever this happens, you feel like it is your choice that you're making, or if something is interjecting itself in between you and what you actually wanted to do and your attention. An attention interloper is a concept that I came up with, and it is like a sneaky mechanism that puts yourself between you and your clarity, like a parasite that is infesting and colonizing your mind. AI is extremely useful, but it is the main culprit of why all our social media algorithms and all our human interactions are now fueled by a random attention-seeking mechanism. Social media algorithms, AI, are much more part of your daily life than you would ever want to admit. And this is true for almost everybody. Your entire life trajectory is determined by a random algorithm. And if you're not conscious about how every time you look at your screen, your attention is trying to be colonized, you will lose your authentic desires, your authentic voice, and to put it very dramatically, your will to live. It sounds so dramatic when you say it like this, but what is the meaning crisis? Why is everybody looking for purpose? Why is everybody looking for meaning? Why is everything going to shit? We cannot put our attention on what matters and what would actually fix our problems. Aliveness is something that can only be born from within. If something within you shimmers, like a longing or desire that you want to express something, create something, or just sit with something, but then attention interlopers rob you of this desire or this expression and intersect themselves between you and your clarity. Gemini, as an AI example, is very, very useful for most of daily life. And this is what makes it so perverse, because I am not an AI hater at all. I think the technology behind it is truly magical, and I find it extremely powerful. And who knows what it can do for humanity in the right hands. But I hate how it is programmed to increase your engagement. When you talk to a Gemini specifically, after every little answer, it will always try to wrap you into a new question, more curiosity, more engagement, more wanting to know about you, to keep you talking to it. And this is your phone, right? So now your phone is almost becoming this living organism that is trying to capture your attention. Now, of course, Google wants data, but even on like business privacy plans, where there supposedly cannot be any data collection, because it's all contained in these private firms like lawyers and stuff, that they use this stuff too. And then you still have hard programmed this need to ask for more information. And of course, it is hard programmed this way because attention is the most powerful resource. How you spend your time and your energy is what determines not just your life, but the life of everybody around you. Google and all other AI companies, for that matter, are like a gravity system that pulls attention towards them. And if you're very smart about it, you can gain a lot of value from this. But if you're getting sucked into this, well, then your entire life is being controlled by algorithms. And in a way, everything is doing this gravitational pull, attention interloper thing to a certain degree. Now, the difference between something robbing your attention and you being sucked into it unconsciously versus deciding that you want to spend your time with it and then designing your environment for this is a night and day difference. If you have garbage fast food right in front of your desk every time you try to concentrate on your work, then of course you will eat garbage food every time you try to work. Being more aware of reality means being aware of how you are structuring your attention and how your environment is trying to structure your attention for you. It requires also to admit to yourself that the sense of free will that we have is pretty much an illusion. It's not that there's absolutely no control, but there's a real sense in which your entire day you're being ping-ponged around through, a ton of different desires from other people, a bunch of different screens, a bunch of different thoughts that you have, a bunch of different obsessive feelings and sensations, and all of them kind of ping-pong around each other. And if you cannot find silence in between them, then no wonder you feel like you are unsatisfied being yourself, because you actually have no time and space to be yourself. Everything is screaming so loud that you cannot hear your own silence. Then you forget what it is that you actually want from this life in the first place. Most people that I talk to through my ego analysis notice that there's something peculiar going on within them, because you are likely very intelligent and introspective and have been like this for a long time, and you feel like you have some sort of deeper engagement with life than, probably many people have, just because you're very interested in these like philosophical, spiritual, metaphysical topics. And then there's this huge disconnect between how much you introspect and how much you can actually use this introspection to change your behavior. Because on one hand, you want to be more peaceful and content without needing other people's validation, or without needing success. But then on the other side, you also want to be more successful and want to have an impact and want to change your life and those around you. And then also on the other side, you don't do what you said you would do. And then you don't know how to bridge that. So the Attention Interlopers aren't just enough themselves. Your own voices are fighting within you all the time. So in a very meaningful way, whatever is interjecting in between your attention and what you end up doing in your life is within your own mind. So it's all a sort of system that interjects itself both from the outside world, but also past experiences are interjecting between you and what you want right now. So it's like you against external environments and you against your internal environment. So controlling or like managing or designing your external environment helps a ton, but it is not enough if you cannot design your internal environment. If you don't really understand what you want, where your old patterns come from, how can you deconstruct them, what are your limiting beliefs, and what is all the stuff that is just not serving you anymore. Looking at your phone is kind of like having to attend to a crying baby all the time. How you cannot just do stuff that you want to do, but you just need to grab the phone for a moment to check something, take care of something. So you have an impulse that kind of needs attending to, and it's so quick and so fast that going against it is like difficult, and you almost feel like you're missing out on something, like you're doing something a disfavor if you don't put your attention to whatever is crying for your attention. So the crying baby part is not just the phone ringing and giving you a notification, which by the way I would almost disable all notifications of your phone if you can. Only the like actual essential ones that move your life further. But if you have this awareness to notice, okay, the phone is like this kind of codependency thing, the crying baby is actually within you. You are like the crying baby, rebelling against not getting what you want. Because if something in your brain tells you, I want to grab my phone, and then you can't grab your phone, then there's like this part of you that is, just complains and bickers. I call my Substack Knowing One because it includes the existential knowing in a non-dual sense, like everything as one, where all of the mystical stuff comes into play. But then I also equally call it Knowing One because it's about knowing yourself, knowing that you are one integrated system that is holistic. And this unites the existential cosmical with the integrated, deeply personal and practical. Existential contentment with practical power over your own sovereignty is what genuine spirituality leads towards. If not, I don't find this work very impactful. If you find existential contentment through spirituality, then I think this is like the first point. Like You should be able to wake up in the morning and not worry so much about all the stuff that you supposedly have to do. To remove yourself from your responsibilities and notice that you're fundamentally okay as like a person deserving of well-being. It's like the first step. And a lot of spiritual work is just to get to that step, which is difficult. Like there's a lot of garbage in the mind. But then beyond that, there's also this need to live a life that is fulfilling, that is holistic. And if you only focus on deconstructing your sense of self and deconstructing all of your past traumas or conditioning, you are doing amazing. Like this is actually the real spiritual work. But if there's the sense that you want more from life than just be content, but you want to have an impact and build something, then it is fueled by the same contentment. And this is what I think is so beautiful about all of this. It all works together so nicely. I don't think that anything matters more than this right now. So practically speaking, you have still a lot of time to live on this planet. So you want to make it so that you grow and develop yourself. Of course, there's this personal, introspective merging with the existential topics. But then there's also the very businessy and financially dependent self. So this merges the personal with the existential, the community aspect of developing as humans or humanity, also in a cultural sense. But then there's also this business sense and success sense that you do want to be better. No matter how you slice it, the attention interlopers are the big problem, destroying this generation and the generations that are coming afterwards. And in fact, the generations older than mine, because everybody's being brainwashed. And it is in fact the intersection between personal productivity, spirituality, and psychological wisdom that creates the sense of clarity to move towards something that is both beyond yourself and exactly what you want. And what this means for you is individual and unique to you. That's why my work is becoming more and more personal. The audits on one side, but aside of this, I am currently working at a more intimate space around this line of thinking. And in this space, I want to do live calls with people, live practice groups, inquiry, and just a deeper way of actually applying these ideas instead of only consuming them. I haven't fully announced it yet, but the first people who enter will naturally have more influence over the shape and culture of the space that I'm building. So if you want to be close to the space as it opens, subscribe to my Substack Knowing One, which is where I'll share the first announcements when I make it. Right now, what I'm doing in my life is I'm taking the first 10 hours of each day and containing them outside of all media and attention interlopers, so that I can have the first 10 hours of the day to do all the work I need to do, or to meditate, or work out, maybe read something, anything but media that tries to capture my attention, like to just eliminate for like a certain part of the day algorithms that basically tell me what I want, tell me what I desire, tell me what I need to watch next, but have like things determined from beforehand. This also protects your attention span, because then I have the space and the silence to create stuff. And when I'm like a little bit bored or a little bit like unsatisfied, I don't immediately grab to entertainment, but keep building. And the beauty in this is that your dopamine reward system enjoys work and enjoys those healthy habits. In the classical self-improvement YouTube days, they called it a dopamine detox or a monk mode or whatever. But I don't think that this is the right lens for this, because if you do it right, it's just a normal lifestyle. And it's not this big deal. It's just how humans are supposed to work. It's to not be consistently overflooded with information. And I want to reorient my lifestyle more and more towards this. And considering the last 3.5 years, I've been doing this, right? That's why you can now see daily YouTube videos of me, because work has become easier and easier and more natural for me to do. And now I've talked to hundreds of people about these existential topics, and I guided them. And I noticed this clear correlation between existential satisfaction and this need for outside circumstances to improve. And people always feel like there's like this conflict, but there is no conflict. If you understand yourself right, and you have the right environment where, yeah, you can learn from that environment and this way of thinking, then it's less and less about, yeah, outcome metrics, but yeah, just deep connectivity with everything around you. The more I don't care about the outcomes of my actions, the more I get done. Whenever I do a new container like this, like 10 hours every day that I'm trying to like remove myself from all of the stuff. At the beginning, it's not easy, right? Like I'm not some sort of hyper disciplined, enlightened monk that does it like it's nothing. But yeah, if I consider myself right now from myself, yeah, from 4 years ago, I am literally a different person. So I know that this stuff actually works. I've seen it in myself and in other people. But with the right type of orientation, like you know what you want and you move towards it, and you're able to remove yourself from these attention interlopers, which is the difficult part. But when you know exactly what it is that you're moving towards, then your entire body and your entire environment designs itself towards these higher level goals. And the last 2 years have been, yeah, just proof for myself that all of this works. So now I'm doing one YouTube video per day as like the absolute minimum. It is just really the minimum. Like if I do one YouTube video in one day, it's kind of like a mediocre, if not like, yeah, low subpar day. And I used to beat myself up for not being able to upload once a month. So it's a completely different dimension now once you have leverage. The more I spend time in silence and in the space of creation, the more I'm fully present with what I'm creating, and it barely feels like work anymore. Time just moves faster while creating stuff. And at the end of the day, it is clearly work because you're using more brain power, you are getting more exhausted over time. But if you enjoy it, you just enjoy it, you know? Also, as my audience is growing, I want to make it just very clear that I'm talking about non duality and self actualization. I care about reducing suffering and moving people towards bliss, using mechanical, biological understandings while also incorporating the mystical and the non dual and all of this, yeah, crazy stuff. Because I find that in there you can truly use language and thinking in an analytical way that combines all different fields of study. So you're not actually limited by one belief system, but you can apply different belief systems for, yeah, different goals in your life. And I've become just very good at the philosophical existential language part, to the point that I feel extremely holistic in, yeah, my own understanding of myself and the world. And just existentially, I feel very content no matter what happens. Like even if I were to lose what I've built in this time, I don't think that my sense of contentment would change that much. I mean, of course, I'm more content now than when I didn't have, yeah, this business in the current phase, because it just feels more purposeful, right? But I'm not dependent on any of it. And it's this piece that I found that makes me able to, yeah, do this now in this way. So it's now all compounding and becoming better and stronger, and I impact more people. And I want to take this power and empower other people in the process. This is what really motivates me, and it really uh, makes me want to capture people's attention so I can empower them. Because I think that I am at the verge of something truly special. I've not seen many spaces that, yeah, try to do whatever I'm doing sincerely. And most of these spaces are either kind of, yeah, corrupted by hustle culture or spiritual ungroundedness. And to find a way or find a language to merge these two in a way that actually is healthy, I think is just very beautiful. And I hope you can find something like this for you too.